Greeting recruiting fans. It's Michael Langston, senior analyst for Warchant.com. This week, I'm going to break down kind of the positions because I know a lot of you guys have questions about, which one's like the biggest positions that you feel like, or even the weakest positions of that you feel like just based on where they stand currently, of what places they need to work on stuff. So this is kind of a breakdown where I'm going to go through kind of, just the positions. I'll first start the positions I feel like they're in the strongest position for. I think safety board is looking really good for FSU. I feel very confident FSU is going to get two or three in there. I like where they sit with Gregory Thomas. There's several other guys that I think are involved that they're involved with that I think that board feels like it's going in a very positive direction. I think that one is really strong. I think their running back board is also very strong, right now. I think Byron Lewis, they sit in a really good position for him. There's several other prospects they're coming in the picture, like Iverson Howard, who's going to take an official visit to FSU in June. So I think I feel good about Lewis, but I also feel good that they're going to add a second kind of athlete type, prospect in that class. So those are two positions I feel good for. Um, the two that I think they're most vital for me when I look at it is the defensive line, defensive tackle. I like what I'm seeing so far with development. I feel good that FSU will get two guys in that group. I think overall there's still a little bit work to do if you want to add three, but overall I feel very strongly that they're gonna hit that two mark. I think the the position that'll probably do the best out of all these positions that I've covered already is the offensive line. I think this is going to be one of the best classes, if not the best class they've had in history. They already have five-star offensive lineman Solomon Thomas. They're trending in a very good direction, even after checking in the last few days on Josh Petty. I know Matt Lassier did a story on him. I think things are still looking good there. And then there's other guys like Max Buchanan and others that I think FSU is sitting in a very good spot. So that could be the one that's kind of be the coup de grace of the whole class where people talk about them. So I think those are kind of the main position. The position I'm concerned with, if I was going to, as I close this out, the positions I would say defensive end. They do have top 100, prospect Javion Hillson committed. I do feel comfortable that he's still comfortable and firm, as far as how he feels about FSU. But schools are still working on him. I know Alabama's the biggest threat there. So, and then there isn't one that I feel like they have the edge for outside of Hillison. So there's several targets in there. I know, we'll get into that, later in another, feature of kind of where they sit with all of them. But I think overall, that's the position where I think if you're talking about work to be done, I think there's work to be done of getting more guys officially visit. They do have Zion Grady and some other guys that are officially visit. But I think that's a position they could improve their standing. I think linebacker, that one's looking pretty good. I'll cover that in a later date when I cover all the the whole class. But overall, I'm liking kind of where that's trending. So I think every other position, I think they're good. I think defensive end, there's a little work to do. Not like throwing up the red DEFCON 5 flag. It's just there's work to do where you could use more, more guys that are in there. There's certainly targets that I feel like Jalen Wiggins, that I feel like they're trending in a better direction. And but there's a lot of pressure if you don't get Wiggins. What do you do then? So I think needs to be an expanded board where we see more activity as far as the defensive end position. But outside of that, I think the class is going good. I'm going to break down in a little bit the overall state of what I feel recruiting is, but that's kind of where I think things sit as far as the positions and what I'm looking at. Once again, this is Michael Langston, senior analyst for Warchant.com.